Oh, welcome back. Welcome. I could not wait to call you guys. This is definitely an emergent conversation in light of all of the recent developments. Let's get this party started. Okay, today, this episode is all about Lana. Shout out to all of my people in the chat, the replay crew. You know what to do. Trophies and blue chat. I'm already fractious. Trophies and blue hearts. Oh, I can't wait. There's an account on Reddit. Shout out to Reddit. We are going to do a Reddit read. There's an account on Reddit appearing to be Lana's brother, who is releasing what some are saying are some damaging text messages between he and Lana. Now, this account has been up for over a decade. It has featured photos of Lana before when people inquired about the validity of the text messages. So that just lets you know the messages are real, although we still will say alleged. Everything we say is alleged. Previously, last night, we went over the newly released messages. Today, we are going to go over the entire thread that he has released from the beginning to the end so that we can have a glimpse into the mind of Lana and just look at her participation into this whole thing. As I have said before, we've all kind of put Lana on a friend of a friend pass. You know, Lana is no longer with us. Rest in peace, Lana. She passed away way too soon, very young. Nonetheless, she did come down here willingly, so let's get this party started. Now, shout out to Federal Customer 193. Federal Customer over on Reddit left a message for Lana's brother under the text messages that are intricate to this whole read, in my opinion. Federal Customer says, "I'm genuinely sorry for your loss and think you are a very good brother. Your history and family dynamics obviously play a huge role in the way you interpret her behavior and her messages." Sidebar, remember yesterday I was saying, what is a person to do when they are exposed and their family, friends, co-workers find out they were doing some devious deeds with a KILLERER? What else would you do but say that you saw the light? Okay. Especially as she was the only girl in the family, you witnessed her struggle socially and naturally feel protective of her, despite or maybe because of the distance that developed in adulthood. I think we Boone addicts will always appreciate your sharing these things because it gives us additional insight into these people we spend an inordinate amount of time observing and analyzing. But please watch out for yourself and make sure that it doesn't wind up harming you emotionally. Unfortunately, these messages only confirm the psychological/personality profile I've gleaned about Lana from the many messages, emails, and interactions I've read and witnessed. My sister is a covert narcissist with a history of addiction, and she's sometimes an odd combination of Lana and Sarah. Yet, I still find it painful to hear other people criticize her because I remember her at her most vulnerable. And though I need to keep my distance to protect my peace, I still love her. At the same time, while I empathize with you, I am extremely uncomfortable with the way Lana's egregious behavior has been whitewashed and excused, particularly the way she's been recast as Sarah's victim, often likened to George, Sarah's actual victim, and the man Lana watched beg for his life in a suitcase. The man Lana watched beg for his life in the MURDER video that inspired her to reach out and befriend this KILLERER. This is largely as a result of Lana's tragic and calculated decision to befriend the most popular Sarah Boone content creator, the one who was releasing her jail messages and who was most likely to be amendable to participate in a covert PR/rebranding campaign to salvage Lana's reputation and legacy. Sidebar, we will hear from TTC futuristically. Perhaps I see through Lana because I too am disabled, and in fact, my lifespan won't be as long as Lana's. As a result of my illness, my child was stillborn. Oh. And I am intimately acquainted with the isolation of illness. So while I understand that Lana may have been lonely, anyone with chronic illness, anyone who has spent long stretches of time in hospitals, infusion centers, rehabilitation, and nursing care facilities knows enough to recognize that your sister was far more privileged than the vast majority of people in her position. Wow, sidebar. Lana was very lucky to get all of the rehabilitation that she did. And yeah, wow. She wasn't driven to Sarah out of naivety, loneliness, a desire to do good. And you can clearly tell she wasn't gullible. She felt a kinship with Sarah, and the friendship they developed was built on their commonalities. Her motivations for seeking out Sarah Boone specifically were not admirable. And the way her mind works, her interest in control and playing puppet master is obvious in every message. She specifically chose Sarah Boone, and their messages show she delighted in and intentionally encouraged and fed her cruelty, doing her best to gather more weapons to further terrorize and defame the Boone and Torres families, coaching her inept protege to be a better liar and manipulator, to be less obviously irredeemable. Thankfully, Lana's skill set was no match for Sarah's deficiencies. I am sorry for the lonely child and teenager Lana may have been, and am very sorry for the people who survived her. But every message only reaffirms the fact that everything Lana said and did was calculated, manipulative, and in the context of project she chose as her grand finale somewhat sinister. She had so much more support and love than most people in her position. It is a shame that it wasn't enough for her. Shout out to my email crew. I can tell you guys have been fractious about these newly released text messages as well. A few months back, we got the third rail. They dropped some explosive emails on us, which kind of showed Lana in a different light. Speaking of coming to the light. Now, shout out to all of you guys who sent me the text messages and posts from Reddit. I surely missed those yesterday. I was so busy in the Richens trial. Shout out to Summa Cum Loudmouth. How are you guys feeling about the Richens trial? Oh, we'll have to talk about that futuristically, of course. Now, there was one particular Reddit post from TTC that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm not sure where it's from. There was no context, but it clearly relates to the recent Lana situation. So TTC says, you can clearly tell this is a response to someone's message. It reads, I absolutely did not, in capitals, use Lana for anything. I showed her who Sarah really was. I showed her the autopsy. I showed her the tablet messages that I paid for before I even read them all. She saw for herself how Sarah was stabbing her in the back. I showed them to her so she could choose what, if any, of her medical info she wanted to share. My own sister was on dialysis before surgery. Dialysis impacts cognition in 70% of patients. I was worried she was being fooled by Sarah. Where is your proof she used me for something? You underestimate my ability to understand abuse and abusive people. I assure you, anything I did for Lana, I did so willingly, eyes wide open. So I came down here willingly, right point blank between the eyes. Sorry. No malicious. Where was I? I assure you, anything I did for Lana, I did so willingly, eyes wide open. You can't say The same for other creators who are out here dragging her name. For what reason? Let her rest. Why are people lying saying that Lana gave her money weeks before she died? She didn't trust anyone fully, and I know why. I still am defending her name. How am I trying to get something from her now? She was my friend. Lana was my friend. JRSBRKA, hey JR, says, hallelujah, we can openly discuss Lana without a pile on. Death doesn't erase the life you lived. To her very last day, Lana was still trying to weigh up which might be the more beneficial side for her. That she had talks with James about how to get Sarah to admit she was drunk. I find that particularly hilarious. That will PISS Sarah off big time to hear that, LOL. But it brought to mind a tablet message that I heard on TTC's channel last year sometime. Her blowing smoke up Sarah's backside saying, quote, I know my good friend Sarah is 100% not an alcoholic. I would know that. And know that. And you, my friend, are not one. End quote. That tickled me a bit. Lana was telling Pete, I won't mention anything about you, while giving TTC all the tea on both P and J. Talk about a 3-ring circus. And the documentarians relying on a dying woman in Minnesota to help assist gathering information is next level. I have always said that Lana and Sarah were in a subliminal competition. Do you think they were trying to out-mean girl each other? I've always said that Lana and Sarah were in a subliminal competition to see who could love bomb most. I sort of understood Sarah's fawning. She needed money for honey buns, but Lana was definitely seeking her 15 minutes of fame. Had she not have passed, she would have been putting money on another Killerer's books to get her high. Rest in peace, George. Shout out to my top tier commenters and everyone down in the chat. Oh, I hope you have your medical snacks. This is juicy, right? And no, this is not a Lana pile on. As I've said previously, I think we've all kind of put Lana on the back burner due to her passing away, as well as her being on a, again, friend of a friend pass. You know, we kind of just saw her in a different light and swept it under the rug, against our own true crime instincts. I'll speak for myself and some of my people. I've, in the back of my mind, always questioned, well, didn't she see the interrogation, or didn't she see the body cam, or didn't she see what I saw? How could she, etc. You know, but I then thought, well, she was fooled by Sarah. You know, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You didn't float up the damn stairs. No, malicious. We all kind of let Lana rest and lay to bed. Nonetheless, then here comes the third rail. Initially, they didn't let us know everything about Lana, and they say they have so much more. We don't know what else they have, right? But the little that they did drop just showed a lot of Lana's involvement in a completely different light that I couldn't ignore. My instincts could no longer ignore it. So I called you all and we talked about it a bit. Then her brother drops these messages and it just blew my mind, as well as yours. I can imagine it showed another side of Lana, her involvement in the case. What we are about to do is rewind and look at another side of Lana, what she was texting to TTC. What totally changed my mind and made me take Lana off of the back burner after the most recent messages by her brother was released, which we will go over today, was a comment from one of you who said, "Hey, Danielle, I understand that Lana has passed away, but we still talk about George, whether it be good or bad. We still talk about him, and he's the actual victim here. What makes Lana exempt?" So I said, you're right. Yeah. So good or bad, we'll go ahead and talk about the legacy or involvement that Lana left us. Yeah, fair enough. We are going to jump around a bit, but we're going to start off with the messages that Lana sent TTC about her heartbreak, heartache and pain, and deep pockets and 1 grain of salt, all of that she was frazzled when Sarah broke up with her. TTC is kind of trying to console her and let her know, hey, it's okay. And Lana's still a bit frazzled. Okay, let's get this party started. Shout out to you guys down in the chat. This is going to be Lana explaining to TTC about an email she's about to share with her from Sarah. Sidebar, and I've seen the comments from some of you. Yes, it would burn me up totally to see that Lana was in on a scheme to take advantage of some of our favorite YouTubers. Yes, it definitely appears that way. Nonetheless, what if it was true and she did come over and see the light? Okay, here we go. Sorry, I had to redact 2 names. Keeping my word sucks, says Lana. This is from Sarah. You chose your side long ago after we all told, asked, mentioned, whatever for you to stop commenting and communicating with Tanika. Remember that. Now stay on your side and we'll stay on ours. Away from grimy 1 grain of sand on a beach, lowlife, weird, infatuated, nobody Tanika. Go tell her good job again. Tisk tisk. And for the record, if I were all about your money, shaking my head, I'd still be talking to you. The quote-unquote deep pockets comments hurt. Feel good about that. Please stop lying, being paranoid and brainwashed. Your loyalty went to Tanika. It's sad beyond words. You care what she and all her vampires, quote unquote, think of you. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world, friend. Of all the ignorance, hate, greed, and hurt. There's too many of them to fend off. And you're now one of the match throwers on my pile of wood created by social media. Enabler. I don't care anymore. What can man do to me? Miss Boone, you're sentenced to life. My sights are set above, not here on earth. So much I can say, but choose not to. For what? I owe no justification to anyone. I just don't understand how listen to this, the day before you made comments about me and my case and lied to bloodthirsty Tanika, then wrote me with pom-poms cheering me on with Brian. Help me understand. What the F is that? Or did you not know I knew that? So Sarah is saying, the day before, you were just encouraging me with Brian to get him. Now you're going against me? Help me understand that. Or did you not know I knew that? And I can't believe you betrayed me with saying now I'm guilty? Yes, Sarah, you're guilty. She should have known that from the interrogation and the snuff film. I'm guilty, quote unquote, from believing them? Wow, you're weak and wrong, but at least you probably got a like or 2 from it. All worth it? Lana, you know me. You, not them. Sacred and special. Sarah is nuts. I can't believe you betrayed me. She is so dramatic. Why keep doing what names redacted, and Australia, yes, she is my friend also in many ways, who is simply trying to defend me and get out of prison. So the name redacted must be the documentary guys. So let's read that again. Why keep doing what P&J, and Australia, yes, she's my friend. So Sarah's letting her know, like, yes, she's my friend. She's trying to defend me and get me out of prison. You have you continued to do what we've asked you not to? Is Tanika an idol to you where you care what she thinks over me/us? The only quote-unquote control, Lana, I ever asked for was disassociation from Tanika. Think about it. You will be missed. Oh, she said she'll be missed. Okay. So Sarah said that she will miss her. This is such a nasty girl breakup. So what I'm gathering, she's saying, hey, we all asked you, the whole gang asked you to stop talking to her, and you won't. That's all I asked you to do, and you won't. Do you care about her feelings, or is she your idol over me, over the gang, the crew? Oh my God, what grade do you guys, sidebar, what grade do you guys think this is? Like 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th? So high school. Lana's telling Tanika about their whole high school breakup, right? So Tanika responds, she's like, whoa, she can't see the control issue. She doesn't get to tell another adult who they can or cannot talk to. You told her you were doing it, so it wasn't behind her back. Why is it okay for Australia to talk to me in the comments? It's a double standard. And the whole thing about being guilty is just delusional. She was found guilty by a jury of her peers and sentenced to life. Yes, she made a snuff film. She admitted it on the stand that she took his life. Somehow he's become a mere inconvenience in her life. She did admit to fatally injuring him, and the jury didn't buy the BSS battered spouse story. She's never getting out. You'd think she'd want to get right with God and stop lying. What she doesn't realize is you were her true friend. Australia will be long gone once there is no more quote-unquote news about Sarah. Does Australia appear in the text messages? I'm just starting in the 200s. Tanika is referring to the numbers on the pages. She was just getting started with the juicy stories herself. She was just diving into the tablet messages. So Lana was kind of warning her what she was going to see. Lana knew what was coming down the pike. Shout out to Florida. Sidebar, it's sad. It seems like Tanika cared more about Lana than Sarah did. It's sad. She's punishing you for disobeying her. You were the only one she had intellectually stimulating conversations with so far in the text messages. Maybe she knows her true self is being revealed through her text messages. Instead of asking what your thoughts are, she wants to control what your access is to information. Think about it. You realize I would see unflattering things in the next text messages and got in front of it. Sarah, her response is to forbade you from seeing it instead of addressing the real elephant in the room. Maybe deep down, she is afraid for you to see her true self. I don't know. It's weird, Lana. I'm sorry. I genuinely enjoy talking to you. I never meant to bring harm to you. Aww. I haven't told anyone that we speak. And when people ask questions, I speak very carefully and identify the neutral source where the information could have come from. Phone logs, text messages, research, etc. She's just not being reasonable. Maybe given her time, her biggest fear is abandonment. Oh my goodness, a little human is very active in the house. Her biggest fear is abandonment. Walk away, clear your head, and decide how you want to move forward. There is no urgency. She's got a life sentence. Know that. If she's really in her Bible, she knows the power of forgiveness. Yes, even if she deems your actions a betrayal, what has really happened?
I took care of him. I miss him a lot, and I didn't even sleep last night. I miss him a lot. I mean, is there any...
We are keeping up with the conversation because it is juicy. Today, we're going to get into Lana's text messages from her brother. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for liking and hyping the videos. And I'm going to keep putting out videos for you to make sure that you are entertained. Let's get this party started. Oh yeah, Sarah Boone and I are done. It's all over. Why's that? She tries to control me. Oh? Hang on a sec. No worries. I'm at work just steering the wheel, so I'm here all day. Do your thing. So it looks like Lana is ready to spill some tea with her sibling, and she's not feeling too well. Okay, back. I had to say goodbye to Dan. He's off to work. And her sibling is like, oh, no worries. I'm here. Anyways, there's a content creator who initially wanted me to go on her channel and interview. I declined, but we had started chatting and she is a really nice person. Problem is, her channel is pretty anti-Sarah Boone, as is most out there. I made a mistake by telling Sarah I was still chatting with her. I had told her about the invite and that I wasn't interested in doing it. Then out of the blue, she says, "If you keep speaking to her, I will never speak to you again." I stopped and said, "No ultimatums. Don't give me an ultimatum." She tried to backpedal, called me sensitive. I told her I can have friendships with whom I choose, and it doesn't matter whose side, quote unquote, they're on. Maybe I could win their opinion, etc., etc. She was not having it, so I said, maybe let's cool off and talk about it in a few days. She wouldn't talk to me for a month. Okay, boots on the ground. For those of you who are familiar with these text messages already, they hit the internet last week. Why was Sarah already upset as soon as she heard that Lana would be in contact with TTC? Did she already know about her channel? So Lana says she wouldn't talk to me for a month. Her sibling says, she was kind of known for being a control freak already, firing all of her lawyers, wasn't she? Before she left, she accused me of game playing and not doing my best, whatever that meant. Yep. Anyways, I happen to have been on a live chat and someone knew I was Lana on there and asked me, hold on, here we go. I happened to have been on a live chat last week and someone knew I was Lana. How would they know she was Lana? And they asked me the question of whether I still thought she was innocent. And I answered that I used to until I heard about the bet. Well, another friend of Sarah's who thrives on drama, okay, I think she's talking about Australia, took a screenshot of my comments in the live chat and sent them to Sarah, including my saying hi to the content creator she told me not to talk to. This is so middle school crap. Anyways, she sends me the nastiest, meanest crap. Called me a traitor, grime queen, rotten. Tried to tell me to cease and desist all mention of her or our friendship, and tried to tell me that everyone was mad at me, etc. I told her goodbye. I was nice about it, but it was like I had woken up. Okay, so Lana is having an awakening. Her sibling says, keep typing. I'm reading. I just have to do a quick interpretation of this. Well, give me like 5 minutes. So Lana's waiting the 5 minutes. I'm sure she is frazzled. Okay. He's back. It's okay. Anyways, her flying monkey who had, quote, tattled, came onto the comments trying to yell at me, and I told her that my friendship with Sarah was not her business and that she wasn't doing her any good by pot stirring any drama. Anyway, so there it is. So People know I was Sarah's friend. Some hate me for it. Some believe I was some vulnerable, handicapped person. Either way, I don't care. I am free. So as she's responding, her sibling, the 5 minutes is up, her sibling comes back. Says, okay, I'm just catching up. Sidebar, to be fair, how would anyone know that Lana was in the chat other than the creator and someone who knew her, like Sarah's other friend? She would have recognized the handle, right? So what I'm gathering is Lana was just talking freely in the chat and got busted. And she's telling the other friend, like, hey, you're not going to do her any favors. You're just stirring the pot. It's going to cause trouble. And ultimately, Sarah will lose a friend, and she did. So Lana continues. Oh, I forgot one component. This next part, I can't tell many people. Certainly not the public for obvious reasons. She had a documentary producers were working with. We were working with. When things went south, they contacted me asking if I still was willing to interview. I told them as long as I would not be vilified. Well, they just let me know 2 important things. 1, the doc is dead in the water. No production. No production company wants to fund it as they believe Sarah is guilty as hell, and now I'm not her friend. You need to be careful with people with nothing to lose. Will happily sue. You need to be careful. People with nothing to lose will happily sue. You just got on your feet financially recently. Don't let her disrupt that. Just my 2 cents. Lana continues. 2. They still want to work with me on other projects, including one on kidney disease. I totally understand, but she can't travel to Minnesota, and she would have to sue. Just like a loving sibling, Lana's sibling is like, don't let her disrupt your life, dude. You just got financially settled. Got your ducks in a row. Don't let stocks and bonds, baby. Old money. Well, why do you think I stayed married to him for so long? So Lana starts to send a bunch of scriptures to her sibling. They're reading the scriptures, then it continues. Stop trying so hard to get the grimy followers to like you with all your comments and insight, quote unquote, about me. It's embarrassing. Maybe you can give grimy new bestie pointers on how to breastfeed her almost 5-year-old who better while she's online reading your comments about me. It's sad, Lana. You've stooped this low and ended up this way. The nerve of her. Who spoke to Sarah like this for her to speak like this to people? And all of the world sees I've stopped communicating with you. You're a traitor. And that comment when someone asks you why, I'm gathering she is talking about the screenshot she was sent where Lana was responding to why she believes she wasn't innocent. And I never asked you for a dime. You added money to my commissary account in hopes I'd be your new friend like Tanika is now. How much did you give her? So sad you're a liar too, just like the rest of them, conformist. And even after she bashed you online live, are you that desperate? No matter to me. I am formally demanding Sarah loves giving out her verbal cease and desist now, doesn't she? Subject matter jurisdiction. Shout out to Daryl Brooks. I am formally demanding you cease and desist discussing anything about me, my son, my case, my life with YouTuber Tanika. Stop talking about me as a whole and in every way, shape, and form. I added that. You're rotten, Lana. Cut and paste this message to all your grimies. Queen Grime herself. Shame on you. Happy reading, LOL. Queen Grime herself. Sarah is the queen of projection. Okay, Sarah is feeling betrayed. She's feeling betrayed over a YouTube post nonetheless, but she's feeling betrayed by her right-hand woman. These two were mean girls together. They were doing background checks and being stealthy, playing on the judge's phone, all sorts of things together, and now Sarah feels betrayed. So Lana says, don't show mom. I told her all about all of this, but she'll want to charge into the internet. Aw, mom. Her sibling is like, nope, I won't tell mom. But you can't demand people stop talking about a public case. Lana says, nope. She's been adjudicated guilty. She has no leg to stand on. Lana says, and I was 100% part of the friendship too. I have the right to talk about whatever I feel like. Okay, so how are you guys feeling? Let me know in the chat. Leave some stars on our map below in the chat. You know we can't let Sarah outdo us. Don't forget. I hope you're enjoying this juicy, good read too. Ooh. Are you buying what Lana's selling? Are you picking up what she's putting down? Lana says, she was afraid I would see the autopsy and medical reports. She was afraid my opinion would change. Her nasty gram was a fight or flight response. I mean, it's all public record. I would expect a friend who was helping me in my case to dig and be thorough. That's what I was doing. Well, at least that's what I was doing. Well, at least you found out now instead of much later. James, her lawyer, and I used to have these 3 a.m. chats, and I asked him during the trial if it was true about the bat, if she really messed him up with it. He said it was true, but do not ever talk to Sarah about it because her response to me would incriminate her and it would mess with her appeal. Well, I responded to her. See, that's where Lana loses me. How could you watch the same video we all watched and think she was innocent? Just say you liked her and you wanted to help her out. But saying that you thought she was innocent until we all were surprised by the bat. Yes, the bat surprised us all, I think. Nonetheless, the video had me sold, personally. Lana says it would mess with her appeal. Well, I responded to her and I apologized for not telling her my opinion had changed in private with her first, but I was not able to. I'm still not supposed to, but she couldn't let it go. So hopefully she didn't mess up her appeal mixing it up with me. Sidebar, someone send this to Judge Kranick ASAP. I still don't hate her. I'm not vindictive. She should leave me alone and I will, okay? Because Lana knows where the bodies are buried, where the bones are buried. She should leave me alone and I will go my own way. My own way. It's about to get a lot worse for her in life. One sec. I think she will lose her appeal and spend the rest of her life in prison. Really, Lana? Do you? Her brother comes back. He's at work. He says, I'm back. We hit a vault, so I was figuring out where we were. The black line is where we have drilled. The blue line is, he's showing her a graph from his job. The blue line is seismic data. The green shaded area is my target zone. Lana says, sorry, don't mean to distract you while you are working. Wow. Oh, I'm sure he wouldn't mind talking to her again 20 times. Her brother says, nah, it's no distraction. Then Lana responds, so now you know. There are some people who want me to write a book and donate the proceeds to George's family. Yeesh. Next time, buy a dog from SPCA if you want a friend from jail. Right. Of course, the dog could bite me too, LOL. I wouldn't write a book. You only knew her a year. No, I don't want to. Sidebar. We have discussed in the comment section how Lana would be the perfect person to write a book. I thought her and James were going to go and ride off into the sunset and write a book and collect the money together. When she passed away, I figured, someone needs to get into her cell phone. I'm pretty sure she has all of the piping hot tea on Sarah. But how are you guys feeling about these text messages between her and her sibling, this exchange so far? During the trial, if it was true about the bat, if she really messed him up with it, he said it was true, but do not ever talk to... Wait a minute. So Lana says, no, I don't want to. Which I totally think she's playing coy, in my opinion. But I guess a lot of people want to hear what I have to say. See, she is a novelty. Start a blog, a limited one. Write it out, and then lock it. Then folks will know. Cheryl Carley wrote a book about Chris Watts after visiting him a few times and getting a few letters, right? I don't know who they are. Cheryl Cadle, a nobody, but she made a lot of money to writing a book. Plus, Dylan Tallman, whom spent 6 months with him, wrote a couple that sold a lot. I had a year and we spoke a lot. See? I had a year and we spoke for a lot of the time with calls and messages. I could pull it off, but why not? Go for it. Then Lana says, that's the kind of thing she'll sue me over. I think you're right. Narcissists try to rope people back in. Then her sibling says, how you feeling today? How's your health? I'm feeling pretty good today. Kind of tired, but feeling well. How are you? Seems like her sibling is trying to shift gears, change the subject. You know, he sees that his sister is in a little too deep. She's put her toe in the quicksand. How are you? I know some point in the past you were dealing with A1C stuff. I hope that's no longer the case. I really don't want you in the chair next to me at dialysis. He says, I'm good. No issues with that. Now, this next part, I think it's out of sequence. Again, this was emailed to me from Reddit. Nonetheless, it's important. Listen, very close. Funny how they all cling to religion in prison. Yeah, and I love the little touch of feminizing them. Send her back the psychological definition of narcissism and misogyny. Calling me a fool? Okay. She sounds like a sociopath. No emotion for anyone but herself. Quite true. Listen to this. Lana was very, very busy when it came to Sarah. A lot of mean girl stuff going on. Not saying we agree with it, but she did get us that life sentence. She helped us. I was the one who got her the team of lawyers and her shot at a trial. I was the one who got her the producers who sent her a lot of resources and spent a lot of time and energy on her. I made sure her appeal went through when it got stalled. I was the absolute wrong person for her to mistreat. But she couldn't help herself. I couldn't tell her I no longer thought she was 100% innocent. And then her brother says, what was the deal with that? Sidebar. That's what got me there. I could no longer tell her I thought she was no longer 100% innocent? What's up with that? I'm like her brother. What's up with that? That part is really hard for me to buy what Lana is selling about being tricked into thinking Sarah was 100% innocent. Anyone who saw that video... Okay. I'm ranting. Back to the text. Oh, okay, this is good. So her sibling says, what was the deal with the bat? I could still fight for her appeal because I believe she should have manslaughter, but the bat made the issue quite different. She said in the trial that George got his arm out of the suitcase and was trying to get free. She said she picked up the bat and jabbed his arm back inside. Untrue. His arms and fingers were fine. I got a hold of the autopsy and his head and shoulders were bashed to shit. I didn't tell her that. She started thumping on him, huh? I'd seen the autopsy. Yep, she lied on the stand. Did the coroners point out the discrepancy? Yes, they did. I know why Sarah was so terrified of me talking to Tanika. She was afraid I would see the autopsy. Okay, help me out. Is Lana saying that without the autopsy, she thought Sarah was 100% innocent even though she saw the video? And that she was tricked into thinking that she was innocent? Shout out to Josh. Hey Josh, I hope you're down in the chat. Shout out to you guys too. Replay crew, you know what to do. Trophies and blue hearts so that we know that you are here. Now, Josh just sent me some explosive emails that Lana's brother just dropped on Reddit. Are you guys ready? Let's go. Grab your medical snacks. These are juicy. This is all alleged, so just keep that in mind. Now, her brother says, I'll try to keep them in order. There's nothing really spectacular, but her text before and after she made her mind up appeared different to me. I know that many of you spend hours poring over all this Sarah Boone stuff, so I just figured another glimpse into her text might help with a thought process. I've seen people call her evil, loony, narcissist, etc. Bums me out a little. She was just a sick woman who wanted to try to help someone. Then at the bottom he makes a correction. I'm sorry, it wouldn't let me correct the title and I typed it fast while working. The texts are between Lana and I about Sarah Boone when she first mentioned befriending her. Okay, so that is Lana's brother introducing this text message thread he's about to share with us. Now, it starts with Lana saying, "That is so freaky, big brother." It looks like he sent her a link to the Sarah Boone sentencing trial. He says, go into like 1 minute and 5 seconds and there you are. Lana says, oh, I had told you about her, but I didn't know you were following her. He said, really? There's a link with the whole thing. She says, yeah, there are a lot of them. Oh, I wasn't following her, but you know the algorithm. Since talking to you and mom about it, it pops up now. Sidebar, doesn't all of our phones seem like they're spying on us? When you speak about something, it just pops up later in your algorithm? Lana says, I spoke with the head producer of Law and Crime Network today. Lana goes on to say, anyways, I never told Sarah this, but she could never donate a kidney to me, even if she were free. Oh, God. I wondered, if she was an alcoholic, it might not be a good kidney. She has B positive blood. Oh, I have O positive blood. Actually, it would be her smoking that wouldn't allow it. You have to be nicotine free for 6 months because it's a risk to the donor. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I quit smoking years ago. You did? Now, after her brother says he stopped smoking and Lana says, you did? He goes on to say, question, why do you pick a Bible verse to read in the courtroom? Religion shouldn't be a part of a judge's thought process, should it? I'm not confronting. I'm just curious as to motive. That's all. Sidebar, so Lana's brother is confronting her, even though he said, I'm not confronting. He's asking her, hey, Sis, I'm curious, why would you read a Bible verse in the courtroom for a KILLERERER? We were just talking about what happens when your family, friends, coworkers find out that you are doing devious deeds with a KILLERERER. Let's see what Lana says. Lana replies, "Oh, the 10 Commandments usually are in a courtroom. I was trying to explain Lady Liberty, Lady Justice." But you read a Psalms. I don't think Sarah did herself any favors going through all the lawyers. Yes, Psalms 85. I used it because Florida is part of the Bible Belt. Then Lana goes on to say, if a passage of the Quran had been good, I would have read it. Right on. Good point. I also know Judge Cranick is religious. I was speaking to that audience. I know what you mean, though. I could have gotten the point across without. Lana goes on to say, the Torres family is highly religious. They're Catholic. I was going to quote Maya Angelou, but I feared that would go over everyone's head. LOL. Nah, I get it. Play to the strengths. Yeah, though I love Maya. Okay, sidebar. What are you guys thinking of these alleged text messages that Lana's brother dropped on Reddit? And then Lana goes on to say, Sarah was describing what being in a holding cell is like. After sentencing, they pulled her out of the dorm she was in and put her in solitary 23-hour lockdown. Oh, sure. Probably S-Watch. She gets 1 hour out for shower, phone calls, etc. Lana goes on to say, so our phone calls are 15 minutes max now. She called me twice last night. Before, they were 15 minutes, but she could call me over and over. We talked for like an hour and a half at times. Where is she housed? She is a lot cleaner. Sorry, some of these messages are cut off the way he posted them, not the way I'm reading them, so these are my apologies. He goes on to say, where will she be for her sentence? But she doesn't know where she is going yet. Gotcha. It's likely it'll be Lowell, the largest women's prison in the world. In Massachusetts? Then Lana lets him know that it's in Florida. She says, no, Sarah lives in Florida. My old friend Sarah, and she gives a different last name, lived in Massachusetts. Lowell, Massachusetts is a city. I wasn't sure. And she goes on to say that her friend passed away in 2022. And she says, oh, yes, it's called Lowell Correctional Facility. Lana goes on to say, it's in Ocala, Florida. Yikes. Oh, okay. Man, Ocala, I wasn't there in the army for a change of command. It was hot as FUCK. Sarah lived in South Hadley. I visited Jay 2007. I was there. Yikes. So they go on to have some chatter between each other, but then it goes on. Lana picks back up from the old Bible verse conversation they were having in the sentencing. She says, half of the true crime community want to have a kidney drive for me, exclamation. The other half want to beat the living SHIT out of me. A couple want to beat the SHT out of me and then donate their kidney. Good Lord. Yeesh. That is a little scary. I like my anonymity. Let's read that one again. Pardon me, I had to take a medical drink of water. Ha ha ha. Half of the true crime community want to have a kidney drive for me, exclamation. The other half wants to beat the living SHIT out of me. A couple want to beat the SHIT out of me and then donate their kidney. Good Lord. All right, so Lana's joking about the whole kidney thing, and she was straight up going to donate me a kidney. So was Lana sitting there on the stand, not only knowledgeable about the bat, but also knowledgeable that Sarah could not donate a kidney. Oh, are we sure this is her brother? Do these messages make her look good or bad? The dark or light side? Oh. Okay, so her brother goes on to say, "What's the deal with the YouTuber? Who is she?" Tanika's 2 cents. "Got a link by any chance?" "Yeah, hang on a sec." "Never mind, I found it." "Oh, Lana must have been taking too long." He said, "Don't worry, I've done some pillaging myself." "Okay, good," Lana says. "I asked Mom not to watch. It would really rile her up." Sidebar. "Oh, I bet it would rile her up. Oh, I bet." Now, we remember from the prior text message thread that Lana's alleged brother released, she also said she didn't want her mother to see it. We'll go over those text messages and compare these 2 threads futuristically. Lana goes on to say, "Moms tend to go into full mama bear mode. I want to protect her." Oh, he says, "What video is it? What's it called?" Lana says, "There are a lot of videos, but the one that Sarah references is a members only one. To watch, you'd have to get a paid membership." Lana goes on to say, "Just look at all of her Sarah Boone content. There's something like 150 videos or so. I haven't even seen them all!" Exclamation. "I'll be honest, she's a little annoying, this lady. But hey, she's doing something she enjoys." Smiley face. Lana says, "It's her jam, I guess." "She's really nice though!" Exclamation. "We have been talking some. She sent me a video entitled What Narcissists Do When You Take Back Your Power. It was incredible. It was like the lecturer was reading my mail. She was describing Sarah Boone to a T. I think I may rewatch." This isn't a jab, but I noticed her narcissism in the very beginning when she fired all her lawyers and then tried to get a mistrial because she claimed she didn't have good representation. That was just stupid on her part. Didn't you notice it? Back then, I mean. Sidebar, Lana's brother is thinking kind of like a lot of us, it seems. He's saying like, hey, didn't you notice this? Okay, let me get back to the text. We'll do some talking about this later. Didn't you notice it? Back then, I mean. Lana says, "Yes, I noticed it. At the time, I thought it was Judge Kranick's fault for not giving enough time. Enough time for defense to prepare. Did you know that for 3 weeks after he made her pro se, she had to wait for the laptop and discovery files? Not cool. But I see it now. Back then, I was just being a friend." I gotcha. And that's it. That ends the thread message that Lana's brother posted on Reddit just today. Well, you guys will be hearing this in the morning. Shout out to my morning crew. How are you guys feeling? And shout out to my replay crew. When you guys hear this, it's going to make you bonkers, frazzled, fractious, dance with the dogs. Make sure you have your medical snacks and panic attack stuff. What are you thinking about these explosive messages that were released, showing an insight to Lana's family finding out her involvement with Sarah? Do you think she was faced with either, hey, what were you? I wonder if her brother or her family even knows the depths of what she did. No, malicious. That's the same thing that Peter said. She didn't have any ink pens or paper or anything. Sarah got them all with that one, didn't she? I mean, thank heavens for TTC to pull her out of the Mean Girls Club, the whole, the HBIC, Queen Grime mode that she was in. Once she was exposed by the FOIA request, the tablet messages, everything, her family finding out, her mom potentially finding out, husband, son, I'm sure. They knew that she was pen paling with someone, but I don't know if they knew how deep. That was Mama Torres's voice. She's not going to be blessed like me. I don't know why my mind works like that. Forgive me. But they had no idea, I'm sure, that she was playing on Judge Koenig's phone or giving Sarah Boone Brian's personal financial information, or we can go down the list of things. I think we have an episode of that. We actually went down a list of everything that everyone did specifically. So Lana, she did have a very long list. Oh, and her brother said it bums him out to hear people talk about her because she was just a sick lady trying to help someone. Begs the question, why not help Brian? As she said in the beginning, initially she said, Sarah, I'm your friend. I could have reached out to Brian. I had his number too, but I chose you. Do you guys remember a few episodes back prior around Christmas, I said casually like, I wish we could get into Lana's phone. I know all of the documentation is there. No malicious. Now, I want to reread our previous message from Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Earlier, it speaks to people and their involvement with Sarah. Romano says, Sarah isn't a master manipulator. She can only take advantage of people that willingly choose to support her. Before a person is allowed into Sarah's inner circle, they first have to agree. Sarah is an innocent DV survivor, and George was entirely at fault for his own demise. They also must agree Sarah is the superior parent to her former son. Brian deserves nothing but contempt and owes Sarah eternal support. Obviously, this type of person is of low morale, low moral character with questionable ethics. If an unethical, immoral minion is willing to harass Brian and the Torres family on her behalf, they deserve to be used, abused, confused, and inevitably discarded by Miss Boone. Not one person that has ever come in contact with Sarah is a better person for it, but they just keep coming. Know that. Let's head over and read that email I was telling you about. This email, Sarah is frazzled. She has just discovered that all of her tablet messages are being exposed on the internet. She's not happy and she's not dancing with the dogs. Let's go. Oh, and we're going to talk back to Tina to do some more digging about that quarterly package purchase. Sarah to Julian. Wow. And dumbass Lana thinks she's quote unquote helping me. She should ask T how her posting my emails is quote unquote justice. The justice she's supposedly hungry for. Shaking my head. ... So that's the subject where Sarah is saying that Lana needs to ask YouTubers how posting her tablet messages is justice, which is what Lana was supposed to be on a quest for. She was supposed to be on a mission to reach out to YouTubers to get justice for Sarah. Somewhere along the road, she either got lost, went rogue, or saw the light, depending on what you believe. Now, wow, and dumbass Lana thinks she's helping me. She should ask T how her posting my emails is justice. Justice she supposedly is hungry for. Shaking my head. Please be specific. What emails? Messages on the tablet from county? I don't understand what she has exactly. Ask her to ask T why she's posting them if she's so down with her. Really, I'm being serious. Brian, Lucas, Ashley, who is this? Who else? This is important, Julian. How can she do this? Question. My minor son is involved. All capitals. My active family law info is posted. Exclamations. Someone, you, Pete, Lana, need to contact her and tell her to cease and desist. Oh, that's cease and desist. A cease and desist for the aforementioned reasons. Why? I'll call later. I have to go back to effing prison work. Please get on this and contact her immediately, or idiot Lana should, since that's her new quote-unquote friend. Serious. Thank you. WTF all the time. See, Lana and the doc guys, they had a mission to get this documentary done. It wasn't just P&J. Lana had vested interest in being in the documentary as well. They both set out to find YouTubers in support of Sarah's plight, right? I remember TTC said a few months back, before she received the cease and desist, she'd gotten a email from P just as a fan saying like, hey, how do you get those tablet messages? Do you guys remember that? Make sure you guys are checking out that playlist. Now, she never responded to the email. I'm sure she probably didn't see it. We get tons of emails, as you can imagine. Shout out to the email crew. I'm thinking since P didn't get through to her, Lana came through. She was already in contact with a multitudinous amount of YouTubers, so she developed a relationship with YouTubers and she obtained the tablet messages. It was no surprise that Lana was in contact with any YouTubers because that was pretty much her job. She was supposed to go out and vet YouTubers, find someone to help her to get Sarah's side out. There were other YouTubers besides TTC and the lawyer that Lana was in contact with. And we see from the tablet messages, those YouTubers were actually kind of helping Lana. It wasn't until she met TTC and TTC said, reject! I'm not on Sarah's side. I don't even see it for Sarah. As a matter of fact, let me show you this autopsy and see what you think. In my opinion, this is the time when Lana was faced with a choice. Like a mirror was put up to her to see all of the dirty deeds that she had been doing. So she began to come over to the light side. In my mind, they were all watching the chats. So can you imagine when one of them, Australia, saw Lana saying, hey, I think she isn't innocent. I think she's guilty. I didn't know about the bat. So that caused a little trouble in paradise for Lana and Sarah. Sarah was livid. She felt betrayed. Can you imagine? As much as she betrayed George, Sarah was betrayed. She felt that Lana had stabbed her in the back. Now, later on in an email, Jay verified to Sarah that Lana had spoken to TCC, who assured her she would not cover Brian's son in the tablet message readings. Is it possible she didn't want us to see her saying, man up to Brian's son? Shout out to Tina. Tina says, as for Sarah Danielle, I have not reached out other than the visiting application. I was curious about the process. I never even got any responses from Lowell. I have no plans on doing anything other than reaching out. Tina did not know that her application had been rejected until TTC. Shout out to Tanika's 2 cents. She said, I didn't even know my application was denied until TTC made her video. Sidebar, you guys know TTC has the receipts. Now, that's similar to P and J and Lana and the whole situation. They had no idea they were about to be exposed until TTC started dropping her videos. That's when they started getting frazzled, in my opinion. Pardon me, scrambling, sending out their associates to obtain tablet messages or get proxy to YouTubers to help Sarah's plight. Are you tracking? What I'm saying is TTC has the receipts. She brings us the receipts and we pillage and have a great time enjoying each other's company, right? The people that are getting in or attempting to get in bed with Sarah have no idea they will be exposed until they're exposed, right? That's when we see the cease and desist and the angry emails, the surprise emails. What happens is The facility, they document everything in their records. So when someone accesses the records, that person finds out before the actual person applying. For example, Tina says, I was curious about the process. I applied in November 2025, and now, end of February, the only way I know my application was denied was by TTC. That confirmed for me that Brian and others stating that the hoops they had to go through to get approved were legit. Pardon me, the little human is feeling much better. Thank you to everyone who sent well wishes to him. Now let's commence. Tina was saying that she said her suspicions about the application process taking a long time, going through hoops, fire hoops, as Sarah says, were valid when she saw how her process had still been dragging on. I hope I'm explaining this right. Basically, by TTC obtaining the FOI records, she found out everything about everyone who applied prior to them even finding out they were approved. So here they are trying to be stealthy just to get on YouTube one day to see their evil deeds or potential evil deeds have been exposed. No malicious. But are you tracking? It's at that point they have to make a decision. Are they going to continue with the potential devious deeds or come over to the light? We've discussed my whole light and dark theory before. If my family, friends, and coworkers found out I were writing a KILLERER in secret and doing devious deeds, and I were exposed, I'd absolutely say, hey, no malicious, I was just joking. Or, I thought they were innocent. Oh, what? Which begs the question, are these people being exposed? Were they fooling her? Or are they fooling us? That's for you guys to debate in the comment section as well. If you were a pen pal with a KILLERER and were exposed on YouTube or online, would you back up from your devious deeds or would you go head on full in between the eyes? There is a flip side to this, to caveat, shout out to Nancy Brophy. You have to admit, to get close to a KILLERER, you have to go undercover in a sense and kind of appeal to their logic. I don't know. You guys let me know below. I'm rambling. Tina had some more to tell us, but right now we're going to switch gears. Shout out to Josh. Hey Josh, I hope you're down in the chat. Shout out to you guys too. Replay crew, you know what to do. Trophies and blue hearts so that we know that you are here.